free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47's the top, took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run, still they answer the call. And we say, be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum show. Be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum show.
If you don't believe that we are in a fight today, you're sleeping under a rock. If you get hit and you lay down and you cry and you fold up in the corner, definitely you will not win the fight. We show up to win. Our culture needs a lot of you young people in here to step up and stand out. There is nothing or no principality, power, division, devil can stop us when we're united. They can only get you when you're divided. When I see the American flag, I see us progressing to something that can be awesome and great. And if you don't plan on winning big, you might as well go on today.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, welcome back to the Officer Tatum Show. Got a little bit of breaking news. It's not as crazy as you think it is. Let me just say that. For those of you who probably think, what in the world is going on? TPUSA event bombed. It's not as crazy as I thought it was. There was a bomb detonated, but let's talk about it real quick so we can put it in perspective, okay? So today, is that today? Hold on, wait a minute. Oh, this happened a couple hours ago, actually. So, here you go. Today, a couple of hours ago at Utah State University, there was a suspicious package that was in the old main building, which prompted an evacuation. People were evacuated, and the bomb squad detonated a device, and what they claim is out of an abundance of caution, although authorities later determined that it was a non-explosive device. So it appears that somebody set up something that looked like a bomb or looked like an explosive device. The place was evacuated. And I don't know if it looked like it or not, but it had to have been significant enough for people to say that it was. And they evacuated the building, and the bomb squad came in and detonated the device. When they say detonate the device, that means they have an explosive that they either send in and cause it to explode, so it then instantaneously detonate the device. And in this case, the device wasn't an explosive. So their bomb went off, and that was it. If it was an explosive, and it probably would have blew the windows out and all kind of other crazy stuff. But here's a video of that so you guys can see what's been going on the internet. So they said fire in the hole, fire in the hole. So everybody know to get around, to get away from it and know that they're about to detonate it. Their explosive went off, but nothing else detonated. Thank God. It's crazy to see these things happening in these events on college campuses. It's crazy to me, bro. How people can't just communicate and say, I don't agree with you. So I'm going to do one of two things. I'm going to debate you, or I'm just not going to listen to you. How hard is it? How much brain juice do you need to just make a simple decision? I don't like what this person's saying on the internet. I'm just going to block the person so I don't have to hear anything this person says. I don't like watching videos of leftists being stupid and talking about Donald Trump. Let me just push the block button. You can block these people. You can censor their conversation on your feed. But instead, you lunatics want to be mad and want to kill somebody because you don't like what they say, but you keep listening to them. If you didn't like Charlie, just don't listen to him. You don't have to be on campus. Matter of fact, you didn't even go to that school. Okay. Let's get to the ver, because I haven't had these cackling hens on here in a long time. And trust me, they get stupider and stupider every time they talk. And they really give women a bad name. My instinct said, when I saw this, my instincts was that this is why women shouldn't be in charge of nothing. But then God told me, Brandon, don't do that. It's just these women shouldn't be in charge of nothing. Because when you listen to what they said, and I'm rubbing my chest so my blood pressure go down. When you listen to what they said, go ahead and take a seat because it's about to make you mad. But before we listen to them, let's play Pete Hegseth's speech first. Because they're responding to Pete Hegseth, in my personal opinion, giving the appropriate speech that we need to hear in this country. And you're going to see these menopause having, 1 foot in the grave having, I ain't got no man, I don't need no man having women on the stage washed up. They washed. Not just physically, but mentally. Because there's a couple of regular ones on there, but they're mentally washed. Some of the other ones are physically washed up. But anyway, enough of bashing these women. Listen to what Pete Hegseth said as they put all the Joint Chiefs of Staff together, and they gave them probably one of the most important pivotal messages in American history for our military. Roll the clip.
This speech today, as I drink my coffee, this speech today is about people, and it's about culture. The topic today is about the nature of ourselves. Because no plan, no program, no reform, no formation will ultimately succeed unless we have the right people and the right culture at the War Department. If I've learned one core lesson in my 8 months in this job, it's that personnel is policy. Personnel is policy. The best way to take care of troops is to give them good leaders committed to the warfighting culture of the department. Not perfect leaders, good leaders. Competent, qualified, professional, agile, aggressive, innovative, risk-taking, apolitical, faithful to their oath and to the Constitution. Eugene Sledge, in his World War II memoir, wrote, quote, "War is brutish, inglorious, and a terrible waste. Combat leaves an indelible mark on those who are forced to endure it. The only redeeming factors are my comrades' incredible bravery and their devotion to each other. In combat, there are thousands of variables, as I learned in Iraq and Afghanistan, and as so many of you did in so many more places. Leaders can only control about 3 of them. You control how well you're trained, mostly how well you're equipped, and the last variable is how well you lead. After that, you're on your own. Our warfighters are entitled to be led by the best and most capable leaders. That is who we need you all to be. Even then, in combat, even if you do everything right, you may still lose people because the enemy always gets a vote. We have a sacred duty to ensure that our warriors are led by the most capable and qualified combat leaders. This is one thing you and I can control. And we owe it to the force to deliver it. For too long, we have simply not done that. The military has been forced by foolish and reckless politicians to focus on the wrong things. In many ways, this speech is about fixing decades of decay. Some of it obvious, some of it hidden. Or as the chairman has put it, we are clearing out the debris, removing the distractions, clearing the way for leaders to be leaders. You might say we're ending the war on warriors. I heard someone wrote a book about that. For too long, we've promoted too many uniformed leaders for the wrong reasons. Based on their race, based on gender quotas, based on historic so-called firsts. We've pretended that combat arms and non-combat arms are the same thing. We've weeded out so-called toxic leaders under the guise of double-blind psychology assessments, promoting risk-averse, go-along-to-get-along conformists instead. You name it, the department did it. Foolish and reckless political leaders set the wrong compass heading, and we lost our way. We became the woke department.
Do we have the clip of him saying about being fat and stuff?
Yeah, it's in the view.
I thought we were going to play it on here. So he goes on And to me, it sounds like an incredible speech so far. But then he goes on to challenge them. And this is something that I felt. Let's go to the View real quick. But this is something I felt when I was a cop too. Like, it's kind of embarrassing to be a fat cop. And it's not just embarrassing to the public because you're not representing the uniform and you're not representing the agency right, but other officers. I remember we had a fat dude on our department. They get into a foot chase. They jumped the fence with the athletic one, jumped the fence with the criminal, was in a fight. The fat one couldn't get over the fence. Bro, I'm fighting this guy by myself. And it wasn't me. It was another guy who told his story to me. But I'm fighting on the side of the fence, and homeboy can't even jump the fence. It's not just looks. It's readiness. It's competence. When you have a police officer come to your house or somebody in the military that's squared away, they're in shape, you feel a lot more confident, better about who they are as a person, too. And Pete Hegseth, he addressed that. And I think it's been far too long with this wussification of military and war. But look at these hyenas. And listen what these women going to say about that. I think one of them said, he said they were fat. Roll the clip.
Right before we went on the air, the newly renamed Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, spoke to U.S. military leaders from around the world to lay out his very retro vision for our armed forces. Watch.
This administration has done a great deal from day one to remove the social justice, politically correct, and toxic ideological garbage that had infected our department. We are done with that. It's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon. We're empowering drill sergeants to instill healthy fear in new recruits. Yes, they can shark attack, they can toss bunks, they can swear, and yes, they can put their hands on recruits.
Hold on. Let her play it. Let it play.
Why is he obsessed with fat?
Yeah, and fitness and...
Anyway, this was just the opening.
Stop. I can't handle it. She said, why is he obsessed with fat and fitness? This the military. What you mean obsessed with fitness? These women can't be serious, bro. Why is he so upset with fitness? It's the military, fool. These are combat soldiers. These are leaders who've been in combat, who are an example. What do you mean? Why are you worried about fitness?
Because Trump took the stage after he did, and I think he's still talking right now. But take a look.
If you want to do anything you want, you can do anything you want. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you can leave the room. Of course, there goes your rank, there goes your future. We went, in a way, woke. That was probably the first sign of wokeness. And we changed it to defense instead of war. And I said, what do you think? How do you think if we changed it back? Would that be a nice idea? I thought it would be met with fury on the left. But they're sort of giving up, I must be honest with you. They've had it. They've had it with Trump. You don't have to be that good with nuclear. You could have 1/20th what you have now and still do the damage. You can't let people throw around that word. I call it the N-word. There are two N-words, and you can't use either of them.
So how do you think the highest-ranking U.S. military officials feel about taking orders from a reality star and a former talk show host?
Oh,
I mean,
they didn't say nothing about a guy getting a BJ in the White House, cheating on his wife. They took orders from Clinton. What you want to say now? And Kamala Harris, she on her knees. That's how she got where she was at. She went horizontal to go vertical in her career. Y'all don't say nothing about these half-wit people who out here doing thuggery. How about Martin Luther King? He was doing orgies in his personal life. But when it comes to Trump, you got to be all weird with him. He's the commander-in-chief. I don't care what you think about him. Roll the clip.
I could do it, according to this.
Yeah, I'm actually really befuddled by why he did that. The optics were terrible, meaning all of our top military brass are all in one place, and we spent $6 million to get them there. That didn't make a lot of sense to me. It also didn't make a lot of sense to me that he was saying that he was going to toughen physical standards and review the anti-hazing policy by sort of implementing a hazing policy. And then also he said he was going to return to the highest male standard for combat positions because the troops were fat.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that was supposed to be an uplifting message for our military.
Maybe he's referring to Colonel Sanders.
It was really a bizarre thing. He started talking about woke DEI policies. By the way, there are no gender quotas in the military. By the way, he fired more than a dozen military leaders, many of them people of color and women. He fired the chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, General Charles Brown Jr., who is African-American. Yeah. He fired the first woman to command the Navy, Admiral Lisa Franchetti.
This is exactly what he's talking about. You saying the first black, the first female, this is what he's talking about. You woke idiots. Who cares if you're the first black nothing? Are you capable or competent? He fired the so-and-so. It's a different administration. When a new administration come in, they always get rid of some of the people that are in place because they don't match with the philosophy that they're pushing. There is no female quota. Anybody in the military that's watching this, come on, in the comment section. If you served in the military, are you a police officer? Is there female quotas? They don't have to say it. Do you know that they're trying to actively recruit women that shouldn't even be in the military? You see them everywhere. They can't pass PT. They fat, sloppy, they weak. Now, it's men that's weak too. But I'm saying they do this with women all the time. Women in law enforcement. Women shouldn't even be in law enforcement. They putting them in there. I'm not saying no women should, but I'm saying there's women that are not qualified that they force in there because they want female representation. Come on, somebody be honest with me. You served, you know I ain't lying. Roll it.
I don't understand the sort of hypocrisy of firing these people, having all these people meet together, and then denigrating them.
But did you look at it? They're looking at him like he has two heads.
Well, they didn't applaud the beginning of that clip you just saw. The president President Trump said, if you want to applaud, you applaud. If you don't like what I'm saying, you can leave the room. Of course, and then you heard the rest. There goes your rank in your future.
But by the way, every one of these men and women in this room
let's calculate that. There goes your rank in your future. Donald Trump isn't saying there go your rank in your future, meaning that if you disagree with me, you'll lose me. No, it's if you quit, you walk out of this room, that means you quit the military. We're on one objective. If you're not on board with this, then you can leave. But leaving meaning you quit. And quit is your rank and your future is gone. That's fair.
The entire time they've been in service, that it is apolitical. You're not right, left.
Hold
you're
on.
not Republican.
She got her lips done. I can see her lips. Women can't do nothing. Not all women. Let me say, y'all women can't. Y'all on TV. She got her lips all plumped up, trying to look cute. Can your brain match what you're trying to do on the outside? I know she probably got a nose thing. She look different. Don't she, Nick? She look different. Her lips look bigger. She done got Botox or filler. All right, let's just go on. Roll the clip.
Democrat. They don't show their politics because what you're doing on the battlefield is above politics. So they're not going to applaud. They're not going to cheer. They're not going to boo. They're going to show up and listen to the commander in chief. But to Sarah's point, I've literally sat in the VTC video conference room in the Pentagon. We could have done this a lot easier and a lot cheaper and talked to people all around the world.
Yeah. Come on. What was the reason for it?
I think it's supposed to be a show of strength for Hegseth.
Maybe it's a distraction from, the Epstein files.
What are the reasons for a leader to have people come and he present an important message in person? What is the reason for it? That's why y'all not leaders. That's why none of y'all can lead anything. If you don't understand the value of you giving a real, serious message to all the Joint Chiefs of Staff, right? Is that what it is? You're giving a message to them. Them being in person mean more than doing it on a Zoom call. But if you're not a leader, you wouldn't know that. Hamburger heifers. I can't stand these women. And they really put their foot in their mouth every time they talk. But here's another woman that put his foot in his mouth. He don't even deserve respect to be called a man. Is he a woman? Don Lemon. I say this every time you get on here. Don Lemon, don't say nothing. Don't act tough. You can't say nothing. That man is on your back. And it's funny that you say what you about to say, knowing that you laying up with a white man. Come on, can somebody tell the truth and shame the devil? Why are you talking so much trash about a white people and you married to one? I don't know if I consider that married. You in a relationship with one. They all in a relationship with one. Ilhan Omar with a Jew. I think he looked like he's Jewish. She wouldn't be with a Jew because she a Jew hater. That little bald head, she an ugly little mud. Ain't she an ugly little mud? You see her, she like 3 feet tall. She's just a little ugly gremlin. I'm so sick of that little gremlin running around being stupid. She hate America. Can we deport that gremlin? Come on. And you got her with her white man, Don Lemon with that white man on his back every night. And then you got AOC with her white man. Who else got a white man? Vice President Kamala Harris, her white man. Lori Dirtyfoot and her white woman. They all married. They the main ones. White people, they just the enemy of the people. White supremacy. They ain't white supremacy at night, here are you? Maybe it is some white supremacy going on in your house, Don Lemon. Because I don't know which one the man. Which one the man, Don? Which one? The dude taller than, he look bigger than you. Maybe you the one on the bottom. Yeah, I said it. Y'all, you want to put your business out there? Yeah. We what y'all doing? All right, get him to the clip before I get in trouble. All right, Don Lemon, let him say what he got to say.
Men who look like you, men who vote like you, and men who sound like you. White men, something is broken. Something is cracked deep inside when many of you believe the answer to fear, to loss, to change is violence. Are you listening to me? I hope I'm saying it loud enough for the people in the back.
Hold on. Deep inside was crazy though. But he must be mad at his man. His boyfriend made him mad. His man that made him mad that he on here talking about white people. Something is really wrong. Something is cracked deep down inside. Don Lemonhead, man, just say you mad at him, though. You mad at him, okay? You mad at the white man. You know, y'all go cuddle and watch Netflix or something. You mad at the white man, now you on here talking about white people. Finish the clip, Nick. Oh, that's it. I want to play the clip back when Don Lemon was a real person. We got that clip on there? This is back before Don Lemon was getting... Let me not say that. When Don Lemon... Let me not say that. Can I say it? This is before Don Lemon was going down the wrong way street. This is before Don Lemon was going out the back door. When you could use the front door. He going in and out the back door. I'm just saying. Why don't you come around front? When he was going through the front door, when he was driving on the right way, on the right street and not going down wrong way streets, this is what he used to be. I'm just saying, I don't know what else to say. Don Lemon made sense. Roll the clip.
Because black people, if you really want to fix the problem, here's just 5 things that you should think about doing. Here's number 5, pull up your pants. Number 4 now is the N-word. I hosted a special on the N-word, suggesting that black people stop using it, and that entertainers stop deluding yourselves or themselves and others that you're somehow taking the word back. Now, number 3, respect where you live. Start small by not dropping trash, littering in your own communities. I've lived in several predominantly white neighborhoods in my life. I rarely, if ever, witness people littering. I live in Harlem now. It's an historically black neighborhood. Every single day I see adults and children dropping their trash on the ground when a garbage can is just feet away. Number 2, finish school. You want to break the cycle of poverty? Stop telling kids they're acting white because they go to school or they speak proper English. Number 1, and probably the most important, just because you can have a baby, it doesn't mean you should, especially without planning for one or getting married first. More than 72% of children in the African American community are born out of wedlock. That means absent fathers. And the studies show that lack of a male role model is an express train right to prison. And the cycle continues. So please, black folks, as I said, if this doesn't apply to you, I'm not talking to you. Pay attention to and think about what has been presented in recent history as acceptable behavior. Pay close attention to the hip hop and rap culture that many of you embrace, a culture that glorifies everything I just mentioned, thug and reprehensible behavior, a culture that is making a lot of people rich, just not you.
Who is this? Is this AI? No, it ain't AI. I remember when he said it. I said, I like that brother on TV. Young brother, smart, bold enough to tell it like it is. Now, what did happen to him? What done happened to him? What happened to you, Dunny? Was it the white man? The white man got a hold of you. All right, let's get to the next one. Let's go with that little troll. Ilhan Omar, a troll with a diaper on the top of her head. Let's go to her. These people are so stupid. Roll the clip.
I would say our country should be more fearful of white men across our country, because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country.
Go to a white man. Pull a white man up real quick. Pull a white man up. White man. Please, give me the white man. With the diaper on her head. Troll with a diaper on her head, look like she got a dip in her mouth. I can't stand these people. They evil. You got the one with Don Lemon and her on the street, her talking about Charlie Kirk? We don't need people like this in our country. Now, Don Lemon, he born here, he here. We can't do nothing about that. We can just talk trash to him. But we don't need people like this in our country. They should have left you over there where you were at. Somalia should have left you over there and let you just get whatever they doing to people over there, starving, getting malaria and all kinds of. They should have left you over there. You come over here. Okay, roll the clip.
I have nothing to apologize for. It is a tragedy that Charlie Kirk was killed in that way. I feel for his widow and his children. They will have to live with that for the rest of their lives. But there is no legacy to honor. It was a legacy filled with bigotry, hatred, and white supremacy. Mm-hmm. And as a black woman and as a Muslim in this country, I refuse to join the chorus that changes the history of what is on the record from this man. And so, Nancy Mace, the president, whatever, these crazy people can do whatever they want to do. Yeah. But I am not going to be bullied into complacency, into, dishonoring who I am and what I stand for, just to, make them feel comfortable. Yeah. It's not going to happen.
You married your brother or something. What you talking about? And if you die today, I won't shed a tear. I don't want you to, but if you did, I wouldn't even. Nobody asking about you. I wouldn't even make a video about you. You'll just be in the history. You wouldn't even be in the history book. Nobody would even know who Ilhan Omar is. So what's your legacy compared to Charlie's? Ain't nobody worried about you. You little snagger-tooth weirdo with a diaper on your head, representing probably one of the worst religions in the world. Why don't you go live in a Muslim nation? Since I'm a black and a Muslim, go live in a Muslim nation then. Why you here? Why did they save you? Come on. We finna get busy now. All my Christians in the come on. Ilhan Omar, why did you go where the Muslims are at? Huh? Is it because they don't, where you want to go? Pick one. Is it because women don't have equal rights? Is that why? Or because they didn't want your butt? They won't accept you. They want nothing to do with you. You got to come to America where the white man is at. Ain't that funny? All these Muslims that want to be Muslim won't go live in a Muslim nation. They going to live at where the white people at. Because the white people will treat you with dignity and let you get elected. The Muslim will throw you off a building Especially you wouldn't be marrying a white man if you're a Muslim. I can't stand these people, boy. I hate their little accents too. And the Muslim. What would Muhammad do to you? And your kid. Last time I checked, he had little girls. Yeah, I said it. He had little girls. How you gonna marry a little girl? Then you going to hell. He probably in hell. If you ask me, Jesus wasn't marrying little girls. He married a little girl. Y'all want to cover it up. And then, well, Muhammad, he actually was saving them from torture. What? Y'all, there's no escaping that, bro. All y'all religions out here got holes in them. It ain't no saving you. He messing with little girls. It ain't no justification. She was like 9 or something. It ain't like she was 15, 16. She 9, 7 or something. But that's what y'all do. And then come up under the white man armpit and want to be saved. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. When these immigrants come over here, you can't say, white people are off limits for you to talk about. You can't say nothing about white people. Because last time I checked, when you look at the founding fathers, they were white. All the same people that wrote the Declaration of Independence, that established the Constitution of the United States of America, they were white. So you under the rule and protection and freedom of the white man who died and sacrificed to make sure all this started was the white man. Now, as a black man, I'm thankful for the white man. And y'all won't be mad at me. I don't care because y'all dumb anyway. Your neighborhood's screwed up and you ain't gonna never be nothing. So don't get mad at me. All the brothers that think like me, we successful. Y'all dumb Negroes ain't gonna never be done with yourself. If you mad at me for saying this, you should be thankful for the white man that came over here and sacrificed. Because what did the black man do for you? Oh, y'all want to get busy? We can get jiggy tonight. I got all night. What the black man do for you? What country did the black man set up for you? Go live there then. Oh, you don't want to? Oh, there's no running water. Okay, that's what I thought. Give a white man some credit. God dang. They came over here, risked it all. They had to fight the Indians for this land. I don't think you'll be around if the Indians ran this place. They don't have a good track record with black people either. The Choctaw Indian had slaves. Natives had slaves too. White man come and civilize this place. There was some stuff they did that was untoward. I get it. Slavery was bad, but you know what? I'd rather be here than over there. Don't you? Yeah, that's what I thought. So I look at it as, there was some bad that led to us being free. And our forefathers, to represent them properly, we should be doing something with our life instead of being stupid and thugging and still voting for Democrats. That mean all our ancestors that were slaves, they died in vain because y'all Negroes still stupid. They had the chance you had, they'd make some of it. They had the chance you had, they wouldn't be crying about white people every day. They had the chance you had, they'll get an education. They'll finish their school. They'll pull their pants up. They had the opportunity you had, but you dumb Negroes throwing your opportunity away. They be in church really talking about Jesus. Not in church like Pastor Jamal Bryant with Gucci and Fendi on, cheating on his wife. What are y'all talking about? Y'all, look, man. Look. I'm going to get to something serious and say, but I'm sick. I'm just sick of a lot of black people that talk bad about me and be hating on white folks. Look at what white folks are doing in America and look at what y'all doing. Yeah, that's some stupid ones, but by and large, white folks doing better than you. White folks' community is safer than yours. I keep it 100. White people got a pretty significant track record of building this country. Yo, your track record ain't as big as the Civil War. You remember that war? All them white people died, and you end up free because these white people died. Come on, man. Just pump your brakes. What you should be doing is saying, I'm thankful for the Lord that he gave me an opportunity to be here. And I'm thankful to the people that came before me that made it possible for me to have freedom. Okay. And I'm not saying there were no black people that was in part of that, but I'm saying majority of it was white people. Because if the white people wasn't significant, then Africa would be prosperous. And everybody be living in Africa. And I'm not saying Africa is all bad, but none of y'all want to live in Africa. Why is that? Go to your ancestral land and see how black people treat you there. Okay, that's what I thought. All right, let's get to something else. This story broke my heart. I got two more stories to talk about. This story broke my heart. I couldn't imagine being a dad. Stephanie, no, not Stephanie. Is it Stephanie? No. It's Stephen is the dad's name. Logan is the young girl's name. Federico. She was murdered by this Ninja Turtle. He should be in hell at this point. But for some reason, God let him live. And he done killed this white girl for no reason. Somebody need to say something, I'm going to say it. This happens too often. You rarely would see a photo where a white man was on this side and a black victim was on the other side. Why is this happening? Why would this man do this? 39 arrests, 25 felonies. He served less than 600 days in jail, was free to murder this young girl. He should have been up under the jail. Look at him. Look at him. Look how crazy he looked. But the justice system let him out. And see, all you ignorant folk out here talking about, the sentence is too harsh for black people. They just putting black folks in jail. We got 25 felonies. He ain't in jail. They didn't give him too much time. They should have gave more time than they did. Let's hear what the dad had to say, because what he said was powerful. And I say viewers' discretion is advised. Roll the clip.
How many of y'all have kids? I'm just curious. Here's what I need you to do. When I tell you this story, think about your kids. Think about your child coming home from a night out with their friends, laying down, going to sleep, feeling somebody come in the room and wake them and drag her out of bed, naked, forced on her knees, with her hands over her head, begging for her life, begging for her hero, her father, me, that couldn't be there. She was 5'3". She weighed 115 pounds. Bang! Dead. Gone. Why? Because Alexander Devontae Dickey, who was arrested 39 goddamn times, 25 felonies, was on the street. How about that? How good are we doing for our family? How good are you doing for your kids? He should have been in jail for over 140 years for all the crimes he committed. You know how much time he spent in prison? A little over 600 days in 10 years. He's only 30 years old. He was committing 2.65 crimes a year since he was 15 years old. But nobody could figure out that he couldn't be rehabilitated. Well, you'd have to put him in prison to see if he could be rehabilitated. Isn't that the idea of prison? But no, my daughter wanted to be a teacher. She finally figured it out 2 weeks before she was executed. And I haven't heard a damn word from Byron Gibson in South Carolina. Not one word. 4 months, no communication. His biggest concern was that he was pissed off about my interview and how I made him look on the Fox News channel with Trey Gowdy. How pathetic is that? That we're letting our 22-year-old kid visiting friends. It's all she ever wanted to do was visit friends. And she literally was executed while on her knees, begging for her life. Her name's Logan Federico, not Irina. And you will not forget her. I promise you. You will be sick and tired of my face and my voice until this gets fixed. I will fight until my last breath for my daughter. You need to fight for the rest of our children, the rest of the innocents, and stop protecting the people that keep taking them from us. Please. You have the power. We put you in the power to do what you have to do. We're asking you, we're begging you all to stop this. 39 crimes in 10 years, 25 felonies. Can anybody here explain to me, well, how possibly he could be on the street? Possibly be on the street. How is it possible? I could sit down in a room and I could explain the whole process of how it failed, how South Carolina failed, Logan. Okay? How lack of communication. What y'all did, you woke up a beast and you pissed off the wrong daddy. Because I'm going to put it out there. And I'm not going to be quiet until somebody helps. Logan deserves to be heard. Everyone on this panel deserves to be heard. And we will. Trust me. My daughter laid on the floor for 7 hours before somebody in that house recognized that something was wrong. And that career criminal, an hour later, went on a spending spree with her debit card. When they saw his face on a video, they didn't have to do a check. He was arrested so many times they knew who he was. They knew exactly where to go get him. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic that I'm here today. Thank you for your time.
That is heart-wrenching to me. Like, he did a good job. I think I'd have been threatening people and everything. I'd have said, you won't sleep until something happens. That's what I probably would have said. But thank God for that dad. He was strong. But that's sad, man. Drag her out there and shoot her in the head. She's down for 7 hours. And what I wonder how he shot her and nobody heard it. Maybe they were all sleeping, partying or something. But that's sad, man. Look at that girl, man. She had a life ahead of her. And this career criminal took her life, and he don't have no value. They don't build nothing. They are nothing. Now, God may love you and think you have value, but you don't have no value on earth, especially if you're doing crimes your whole life. You don't want to be fixed. You don't want to change. You just want to be an evil person. You go get a job. That dude was an able-bodied 30-year-old. Go get a job, bro. You can go get your own debit card, but you want to kill an innocent person. And I bet it was targeted, if you ask me. Not because of race, but because targeting a certain area of people. Let's go to the news clip real quick, and then we're going to be done with this topic. Yeah, it's news clip 2. Roll it.
It should have never happened.
On May 3rd, Columbia police say Alexander Dickey was on a crime spree, starting his night by stealing a car. Then police say he went into a home in the Old Shandon neighborhood where he stole car keys, wallets, and a gun. Next, they say he went into the unlocked home next door. Also in that home, Logan Federico.
Once the autopsy was conducted, the coroner's office determined that the death was by a fatal gunshot wound.
Investigators say Dickey shot and killed her. This wasn't the first time Dickey broke into a home. In 2014, when Dickey was 19 years old, he pleaded guilty to burglary. 4 months later, in 2015, he pleads guilty to another burglary. This one is charged as a first offense, even though he pleaded guilty to that earlier charge in the same courthouse just months before. Then, in 2023, Dickey is back in court, pleading guilty to yet another burglary. This one also charged as a first offense, but it was his third offense. Less than 2 years later, Dickey is charged with another burglary in Columbia, and this time the murder of Logan Federico.
So how did this happen? How does someone get convicted of first-time burglary twice? I found Dickey's burglary history in just minutes online. So why didn't prosecutors see it when they handled this case 2 years ago? The answer, they say, is in his rap sheet. It's the official record used to track someone's criminal history, and it's what solicitors use when prosecuting defendants. In 2023, Dickey's rap sheet was 15 pages long, but not a single burglary charge was on there. And the solicitor says it could come down to just a fingerprint.
That's how the state law enforcement division tracks someone's criminal history and compiles their rap sheet. A spokesperson says SLED never received fingerprints when Dickey was booked in 2014 for burglary. Dickey was booked twice that year for burglary. The first time leading to that 2014 conviction, the second leading to the 2015 conviction. The Lexington County Sheriff's Department says the detention center did send SLED fingerprints for the first arrest, but they don't know if Dickey was fingerprinted for the second. Rick Hubbard, the solicitor who represents Lexington County, says had Dickey's previous burglaries been listed on his rap sheet, they would not have prosecuted his 2023 case as a first offense burglary, and he likely would have gotten a much longer sentence. A sentence that could have meant he was behind bars instead of continuing his crimes.
We've got to find out where that hole in the process happened, and let's fix that so this doesn't happen again, that people like him aren't on the street. She's the underdog now, okay? And now it's my job to lift her up, and that's what I'm going to do. I promised her.
Let me tell you this. It wasn't I don't think it was a clerical error or anything like this. I think somebody intentionally, see, and this is why you gotta be careful about feeling sorry for people projecting woes on their lifestyle or their life or their upbringing. I bet somebody was like, this young man don't need a burglary on his record. He's just a young man with a bad upbringing. So they charges him. But then when he get charged again, they go, you know what? He's not a bad kid. He just made a mistake. So they gonna circumvent what they should have done early on because he can change. Then he do it again and people feel sorry for him again. And then before you know it, I mean, he's now killing somebody. That man ain't never gonna get his daughter back. She don't exist anymore, as far as in the flesh. And this guy is gonna live the rest of his life eating 3 meals a day, doing push-ups in jail, getting his GED. It's the system is broken, man. It's broken. All right, let's go to Tucker real quick, and then I'm gonna be done. So the last thing I'm gonna talk about is Tucker Carlson. I like he got a ring to it. All right, I don't know if he's getting paid by Qatar. I think he might be. I don't know. I can't say he is. People think I'm getting paid. I ain't got $1 yet. And matter of fact, if you think I'm getting paid, put it in the comment section who paying, so I can send them an email and let them know that I ain't got no check yet. Come on and run that money to me. But Tucker Carlson, somebody came to me, a friend of mine texted me last night and said, Brandon, it's not a good look for you to talk about Tucker Carlson because it's not good for the movement. I know him, I worked with him, and I think he said he a good dude or something. I listened to what he said to me, but I don't think he right. I don't think Tucker Carlson is a good person. It's not what a person do, it's why they do it. I don't think Tucker Carlson is a good person. I think he's a liar, deceptive, and I think his hatred for Israel is evil. This man flip-flop on his whole idea. Why? You know, the funny thing is that y'all have watched me for so long. When have I just 180 on anything that I believe? I mean 180. When does that happen? Because, you know, in a genuine person with genuine motives, those things don't happen. And if they do happen, there's an explanation of why I'm changing my mind. This dude, Tucker, bothers me because he gaslights people. Oh, I don't have a problem with Jews. I've been to Israel multiple times. But Benjamin Netanyahu is going out and telling people he run America. But he's too much of a wussy with a P to talk about Trump, though. He tried to leave Trump out of it. But you saying Benjamin Netanyahu is going around the world saying he runs America and Donald Trump. But then you don't talk about the fact that if he's doing that and Donald Trump lets him on the stage, does a peace agreement with Israel, and then says if Hamas don't accept, he supports Israel back finishing the job. So you're implicating Trump too. But you gaslight your audience as if, I didn't say that. I would never say that. I would never do that. I can't. That's why I can't stand him. Yo, I got a BS meter, man. Like when I see people, I'm like, yeah, I don't agree with that person, but they really believe that. This dude ain't right. This dude ain't right, man. He a fake individual. Now here's a video of him flip-flopping on his ideas of Sharia law. Just listen to it. Roll the clip.
So a lot of Americans are concerned about Sharia law.
Sure.
And they're concerned about polls that show a strikingly large number of Muslims would like to see it supplant civil law in the countries in which they live.
Sharia law is bad, Seth. I don't know if you've heard that. It's bad. It's worse than what's happening in New York and Detroit. It's just bad.
I don't know of a single Gulf country where it's illegal to proselytize on behalf of another religion. I think that in every Muslim majority country in the world, non-Muslims are treated, have fewer rights.
And you can tell when you go to a place like Abu Dhabi or Riyadh, like, oh man, I hope we don't ever wind up with a society like this with a rape rate of 0, where you leave your keys in your Lamborghini and don't ever worry about it being stolen.
So you often hear people say, well, Sharia is intolerant, women are treated badly, gays are treated badly. Women have, in the Quran, fewer rights than men do.
I'm not Muslim, I'm not for Sharia law. On the other hand, compared to what? Compared to Baltimore?
In England, it's 4 out of 10 British Muslims. In France, 29% of French Muslims would like to see it replace French law.
You know, if people want to get wasted, they do it at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't.
Boy, I hope we don't wind up with that.
But I've seen a bunch of polls like this that show that the attitudes of faithful Muslims are not Western at all, and that they include a tolerance of violence you don't find among, say, Presbyterians or Jews.
You know, shut up. Sharia law.
Meanwhile, a California imam is apologizing after he referred to Jews as filth.
O Allah, liberate the Al-Aqsa Mosque from the filth of the Jews. O Allah, count them one by one and annihilate them down to the very last one. Do not spare any of them.
Sorry, Sharia law.
And y'all, I'm not cherry picking, bruh. I'm not cherry picking. You heard out of his own mouth that he wasn't joking. Sharia law, wait a minute. Do you know why they have 0 crime? Because they will put you in jail for the rest of your life or cut your hands off. Do you want that in Baltimore? Is that what we're saying? We want people to lose limbs when they steal. Is that what you want, Tucker? That means if a kid go in the store and steal something, they cut his hands off. Is that what you want? But you crying every day about what's happening in Gaza, but you think that makes sense the way they treat women in Sharia law? Well, I mean, I don't get it. I would never say that. You Here's him talking about Benjamin Netanyahu. Roll the clip.
Bibi's running around. This is a fact. I'm not guessing
It's
about
a fact.
Because I talked to
It's a
people who said
fact.
it to. Is running around the Middle East, his region, and his own country, and telling people point blank, just stating it, I control the United States. I control Donald Trump. He's saying that. And I dare them to say that's not true. Bibi, not the nation of Israel, not Israelis, and certainly not Jews, whatever that means. The leader, the secular prime minister of a country is doing immense harm to Donald Trump's presidency, to the United States, and to the world. This is an unbalanced person whose only real concern is for himself. He's meddling in an extensive way in American politics. He's loathed by the entire world. He needs the United States, and yet at the same time, he has this patronizing attitude toward Donald Trump, demeaning Trump to people Trump knows. Separating from Bibi immediately, I think, is an essential next move. But objectively, that is absolutely necessary, and very soon, because he is hurting his own country, our country, and the world, period.
So just say Donald Trump is an idiot. Tucker, just say Donald Trump is an idiot and he's an inept leader. You're telling me that this guy's going to allegedly, and Donald Trump is okay with it. This is the gaslighting I'm telling you guys about. So Donald Trump is okay with this man punking him. When has Donald Trump been a person that let people punk him and bully him? So you're saying Donald Trump is inept. Therefore, because we just saw him welcome Benjamin Netanyahu to the White House. And you claiming that he going around the Middle East telling people, and Trump don't know. You know, but Trump don't know. And Trump welcomes him into the White House. Said he's been a good partner and a good friendly and cooperating, and he gave him time behind the podium to say what he got to say in our country. welcomed him to the White House, said, you have my full support. This is why I don't trust these people, man. These people are not who you think they are. I want you guys to understand it with your whole heart. I've been in the industry. I've been around people, and y'all, they're not who you think they are. They have fame, they have popularity, but behind the scenes, bruh, these people are not real. I would never say anything about Tucker just because he don't like Israel. I mean, there's a lot of people who don't like Israel. But it's not that he don't like Israel. It's that he says stuff like this. And he's pretty much saying Trump is controlled by Israel. But he won't come out against Trump, but he's implying it. He changed his whole tune on Sharia law. Why? Why did you change from calling out Sharia law for what it is? Let me add this. Sometimes people are uninformed and they change their minds, right? He was given an informed, methodical, statistically proven perspective of being against Sharia law. He didn't just say random stuff. He had a methodical approach. He had reasonableness. He had historical context. He had everything that he needed to have to be against Sharia law. And now all of a sudden, it's a joke to him. All that old crazy stuff he be doing. He go to Charlie's funeral. When I watched it the first time, I didn't think it was any anti-Semitic stuff. I don't like him. But I was like, that's a decent speech. I thought it was okay. Then people start making a big deal out of it. I'm like, let me go back and watch it because I didn't see what they saying. And then when I listened to it, I'm like, well, maybe he was trying to make a dig. Because look at what he said. How do we shut him up? He said he see one person with a good idea. Let's just kill him. They're eating hummus. Who would have said that? The Jews. But who mutilated Jesus and beat him and hung him on the cross? The Romans. So why does the Jews get all of the conversational blame and the Romans don't get any blame? They are the ones who actually executed Jesus. Why not why pick one and not the other? The Roman Empire was diabolically against Jesus, our Lord and Savior. Who do you think was killing all the other apostles? Who was jailing the apostles? The Roman Empire. The Jewish leadership didn't have it. They couldn't put you in jail. They killed our Lord and Savior. So when you blame the Jews, you got to blame the Romans. All right, give me the screen. I'm getting out of here. Listen, y'all. Our Lord and Savior was a Jew. The one who we call the King of Kings and Lord of Lords was a Jew. He was a Jew. He believed in the Torah. That was his scripture. He kept the Sabbath. He was a rabbi in the faith. He did not break the law, so he kept the law of Moses. He was sinless. Sinning against what? The law. He did not sin against the law. So he was a Jew all the way till he died. He died a Jew. On his cross, they said allegedly that they wrote the King of the who? The Jews. He preached the gospel to who? The Jews. His apostles were who? Jews. That kept the Sabbath, kept the law, kept all the Jewish customs. And then you go down the list. You know your boy Paul, they wrote the entire New Testament, or majority of the New Testament? Not the entire, but the majority of the New Testament. What was Paul? He didn't convert to Christianity. He was a Jew that followed Jesus Christ's teachings, but he was still a Jew. He never stopped being a Jew. What are we saying? Like, at some point, you got to give some credence and respect to the Jewish people, those who are descendants of Abraham, those who still follow the law of Moses. At least give respect. You don't have to agree with them. You don't have to agree with them. You don't have to say they don't believe in Jesus. You don't have to try to act like they're going to heaven or something because they don't believe in Jesus. You don't have to do none of that. You ain't got to kiss nobody butt. You ain't got to get nobody special privilege. What you do need to do is acknowledge the people from where the word of God came and our Savior came. And then you need to acknowledge the biblical references of the land of Israel and the promise to the people that are there today. Prophesied to be there today. That's why they're there today. If you read your Bible, you'll see there was a prophecy. That's why the Romans are no longer. That's why the Ottoman Empire dissolved. But the Jews are still here. Why? I say this every time I speak. I'm just telling you what it is. Y'all can play with God if you want. Why are they still around? They should have been exterminated in Germany. They was kicked out of all the countries in the world. All these countries, y'all say 100 countries. Why are they still here? Why can't the Arabs beat them? Why can't the Muslims beat them? Why? All the Muslim nations around them. Why can't they not be defeated? And look at the countries who hate Israel and the countries who are friendly with Israel or support Israel and look at their prosperity. What countries in the Middle East are friendly with Israel or have a peace agreement with Israel? The ones you will go visit. The most prosperous nation in the world is what? America. The freest place in the world is where? America. The biggest ally to the Jews in Israel are who? America. It's not a coincidence. Not unless you want it to be. I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm out.